used to call me Crazy Joe, but now they can call me Batman.
Good morning. Welcome back to Crazy Joe's Concession Stand. I'm Crazy Joe, and I'm just back from seeing the Amazon Prime screening of Superman, the new James Gunn film, and the launch of the new DC universe under the leadership of James Gunn and Peter Safran. This was my most anticipated film of the year. And if you've been following my reviews, a lot of the films that I had said were my most anticipated films of the year, such as Love Hurts and Mickey 17, I actually found to be quite disappointing. So I'm happy to report that my number one most anticipated film of the year, Superman, was not a disappointment. James Gunn knocked it out of the park. It was fantastic. If I were to have one criticism about this film, it would be that maybe it's a little too fast-paced. I wish at times it had slowed down and took time to breathe, but that's really the only complaint. Otherwise, it is just perfect across the board. It is true to the comics. It is unique enough to stand on its own. It celebrates all aspects of Superman from the modern age all the way to the Silver Age. And it's never embarrassed by itself, and sometimes it does tackle some of the more sillier aspects of the Superman character, like a flying dog with a cape. But it always does it with sincerity. Sincerity is the key word. This film is sincere all the way through. It has moments of levity that are very funny, but it's not a comedy. Overall, it's not a waka waka funny movie. The comedy is sprinkled in expertly, like Guy Gardner, my favorite Green Lantern, Guy Gardner. He's in this. I'm so excited Guy Gardner is in a movie. Look, I got his action figure back here. I was so excited I had to get the Guy Gardner action figure. But Guy Gardner has always been my favorite Green Lantern, and he's being played by one of my favorite actors, Nathan Fillion, who I'm not going to move the camera, but I have Nathan Fillion's autograph right on the wall there. I have a poster for the movie Serenity hanging right next to me, and Nathan Fillion signed it at last year's Dragon Con. And Nathan Fillion is perfect. He is Guy Gardner. He's exactly the way Guy Gardner should be. He perfect casting. Hawkgirl's great. Metamorpho's great. Mr. Terrific is great. But the core of it is it's a Superman movie. It is Superman's story. It never gets bogged down. I heard some people early on going, this movie's overstuffed. No, it's not. No, it's not. The other characters are all supporting characters, and they are there supporting the backbone of the story, which is Superman. And David Cornsweet and Rachel Brosnahan just are wonderful as Superman and Lois. Now, say what you will about Henry Cavill. I know a lot of people really liked Henry Cavill as Superman, and I'm a huge Amy Adams fan. But whether you love or hate Henry Cavill, I think one thing that we can't deny is that Henry Cavill and Amy Adams lacked a chemistry. They didn't feel like they worked together. That is not the case with Cornsweet and Brosnahan. They have perfect chemistry together. They really are great. And we might have the best Lex Luthor of all time with Nicholas Hoult. This Lex Luthor is so evil, you just love to hate him. He is deliciously evil. I really love this movie. I do. I love this movie, and I can't wait to see it again. And I am seeing it again. I already have tickets for Friday. But there is a moment towards the end of the movie, and I'm not going to give spoilers here, don't worry, no spoilers, but there's a scene at the end of the movie where David Cornsweet as Superman gives a speech, and he's talking to Lex Luthor and gives this speech, and I teared up, man. Like, I teared up because it was so emotional. It was so emotional and so perfectly Superman. Just perfectly Superman. And I looked at David Cornsweet in that scene and I said, that is Superman. Yeah, I don't know what more you can say. This is just a phenomenal film. It is a wonderful kickoff to the new DC universe. James Gunn has outdone himself. I'm a huge James Gunn fan, but let me tell you, this may be his best movie. Followed closely by Guardians Volume 2. Guardians Volume 2 was also really, really, really good. But I think this tops even the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. It's just got so much heart. It's so much heart, and the performances are great, and it just knows exactly what it needed to be. It knows exactly what we as a fan base needed to see. And I'll tell you, it was a sold-out crowd, and my audience went nuts for it. The crowd was really eating it up. There were some kids behind me, some little kids. I don't know how well they know the comics because they were kids. But they were having a great time. Like, I could hear them cheering, and people were cheering and laughing, and dude, you got Crypto in this, man. There's a flying dog. He steals the show. He's so good. This is a wonderful movie. 5 out of 5 stars. This is one of the best Superman movies ever made. It's right up there with Superman 1 and 2. I mean, we can haggle about what's better, Superman 1, Superman 2, or this. But it's pretty much, neck and neck. These are very well done. Very well done. Thank you to James Gunn. You didn't let me down, man. I didn't think you would. I've never seen a bad James Gunn movie. I think the worst James Gunn movie I've ever seen is probably Guardians Volume 3. And I like Guardians Volume 3. I do. I like Guardians Volume 3. But the problem with Guardians Volume 3 was the events of Infinity War and Endgame changed the dynamics of the team enough that the chemistry between the characters was off in the third film. It just wasn't quite right. It was a necessary evil, they did what they had to do for Infinity War and Endgame. Those changes needed to happen for that story, but it did unfortunately have repercussions that made the third film feel not quite right. So I do think Guardians Volume 3 is probably the weakest James Gunn movie, but I still do like it. Never seen one I didn't like, and this just might be his best. All right, everyone, don't miss Superman. It's playing starting Friday. This was a preview showing, but actually starting Thursday afternoon, you'll be able to find this at your local theater, and I can't recommend it enough. All right, everyone, keep wearing those pajamas.
Keep wearing those pajamas with the plastic feet. Keep wearing those pajamas. Tell everyone you meet. Keep wearing those pajamas with the back door flap. Keep wearing those pajamas. Don't open it, it's a trap. Oh no, it's a trap. Some people call them PJs, some people call them jammies. They can come embroidered with big money and no whammies. They can have 100 tiny commander Adamas, but no matter how they look, just keep on wearing those pajamas. Keep on wearing those pajamas. Keep wearing those pajamas. And now we're having fun. Keep wearing those pajamas. And now the song is done.